Welcome back, guys. I'm Danny the Dinosaur Drawer, and I'm going to be showing you today how to draw Iron Man versus Captain America. So yeah, Avengers Endgame is right around the corner, and I was thinking what I should draw. And if you guys have any ideas, please leave them below in the comments of this video. And yeah, but for now we're going to be drawing Iron Man versus Captain America. I know it's like from Civil War and stuff, and that was 2016, but I think it's a cool picture, and I've always wanted to draw it. So yeah, here's the reference image we're going to be using today. Very cool, very cool. So yeah, we're just drawing them from like their torsos up to their heads. So we're not going to be drawing any legs today. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm probably going to do like a color part, maybe like a part 2 video, or yeah, something like that. So let's dive in. Enough of me talking. And by the way, I'm using my Graph Gear 500 mechanical pencil, available on Amazon or your local craft shop. And I'm going to be using a nice eraser here from Hobby Lobby. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw an outline. So yeah, this is probably one of the most important parts of drawing, just getting the proportions right before you start. So I'm thinking we're going to draw like a circle right here. That's for Captain America's head. And we'll have another smaller circle here for his shoulder. We're just basically putting together the forms of the people. Have an oval here for the shield. I have a line connecting. Basically this line represents his vertebrae, like, and his spine. Like so. So you can have thick torso there. This Captain America is very muscular. Let's see. We have to have the other arm as well. That's mostly covered up. You can't really see it that well in this picture. And we're going to see a tiny bit of his upper thighs. And the shield, yeah, should be a tiny bit bigger. But right about there looks pretty good. Now, Iron Man's actually probably the more difficult part of this drawing, because he actually has a hand. You can actually see the fingers here. So let's just do a quick outline for the fingers. We'll do the detail later on. He's got his forearms. The suit is very cool. I think in each movie it gets cooler, which is really amazing that Marvel can make the suit look better in each movie, because it started off pretty cool. So yeah, Iron Man's head is going to be right about there. And yeah, we've got to put in Iron Man's thick torso. Now Iron Man's has to be a little thicker everywhere because he's got metal over his actual body. And they're pretty much about the same height as each other. So I'm just thinking if I may have put Iron Man's head a little too high. I'm going to just raise Captain America's head a tiny bit. And this will look great. Maybe just move Iron Man's shoulder a bit down, like so. Just take my eraser and erase that. Draw his head a little lower. Let me just draw a line here at the bottom showing where's the bottom of the drawing. Right about there. So yeah, there's our outline. I think the proportions are pretty good. And yeah, let's dive into the next stage. So yeah, I've made an executive decision, and I think I'm going to do this drawing using pens. But before we do that, there is a little bit of refinement we'll have to put in before we can actually draw our drawing with ink, because ink is very permanent and cannot be erased. So yeah, since I'm right-handed, we're going to be working from left to right, and that means starting with Captain America. So, he's got a very cool looking helmet here. Let's put in the basic gist of this helmet. The eyes are usually right in the middle of the skull. draw the opening where his eyes will be. He's going to be looking up. Put in his nose. He's got his mouth sort of opened. He's like sort of has an angry face on. Maybe desperate is more of the word. He's like a battle face on, basically. He's got his ear right about there. I hope I'm not blocking your view, because I get a lot of comments of people saying that my hand is blocking their view of what I'm drawing. So I hope I'm not doing that. It's got a few more details on there. But that's the basic gist of Captain America's helmet and face. And let's put in his collar. We can't see much of his neck because he's really hunched over. He's got a little bit of wrinkles in his clothes. Back and forth here. He's got a nice design on his shoulder here. Got the little Avengers symbol right there on the top of his shoulder, which is quite large. Then we're going to have to put in the bicep and tricep. You can't really see his muscles that well because he's wearing his full suit. It's just more like wrinkles and stuff, and then it's got like arm guards here, made of leather, looks like. And yeah, the shield, we want to make it look very symmetrical, I guess is the word. So the middle will be right about there. I think that's a good spot. Let's put the lines there, but there's going to be a lot of light flashing there because of Iron Man. So when we do this in color, it's going to be pretty white in that spot. Then Captain America's got his like classic outfit with these straps that go up, connect to the upper part of his suit. His suit changes very little throughout the movies, but it looks really cool in the trailers I've seen for Endgame because it's finally got some scales on it. And if you guys read the comics, which I do, I like the Captain America comics a lot. His suit always has scales, but in the movies they've never done that. So I'm glad to see that they finally decided to draw some scale or put in some scales for his costume. So yeah, I'm drawing like the little pouches along his belt there. He's got a very military looking outfit, which makes sense since he is a super soldier. So yeah, there's our outline, our detail for Captain America. I think the shield is the right size. Maybe a tiny bit too small, but I think that's pretty good. I wish this was a live stream because then I could ask you guys for your direction. And yeah, now we can move on to Iron Man. So yeah, Iron Man's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, I'd say, than Captain America. So let's just erase the messy outline I did for his hands and put that in with a little bit more detail. So we got one finger here, that's the pinky. Got the ring finger. He's got his middle finger there, pointer or index finger, and we can't really see his thumb from this angle. So his fingers are going to be a little bit more sausagey since he's got metal or iron, I guess, titanium, whatever it is, over each finger. Just fine to make them look more sausagey. And then we can put in his other hand, which is going to be very light because of all the fire he's shooting or whatever it is at Captain America's shield, which is most of it. Yeah, it's all bouncing off back in Iron Man basically. So he's got very thick forearms. You know, he has to like hide tank missiles in there and stuff like that. So he's got very thick gauntlets here. It's got a spot here for his his elbow. It's got a huge shoulder piece right over there. And yeah, let's do some work on his helmet. So let me just erase, it's pretty messy right now. Let's erase some of the lines there. And let us put in his mask. So his eyes will be right about there. I love how his eye slits glow. Reminds me sort of a knight's helmet. And he's got that frowning piece on the helmet. Which looks very cool. Then the rest of it's pretty round, like so. And then it comes to the thick neck, like so. So yeah, as I said, he's got huge shoulder pieces right here. A very thick torso. Got a lot of intricate pieces, interlocking and stuff. Most of that we'll do detail with when we ink it in. And it's very dark on this side. It's got a lot of shadow on his back, mostly because there's so much light focused right around that area, where all the blast of energy and light is going into this area right here, which we will probably not worry about until we start coloring. Actually, take that back. We do have to worry about it because we need some, like a lot of these sparks flying through the air should be drawn in first before we do the pen, because we won't be able to color over the pen. So yeah, basically a lot of explosion going on there in the center. So yeah, let's get out our pens and dive into the inking process. So to start off with the Captain America drawing, I'm going to be using a 0.5 pigment liner, water-based, water-resistant pen. So it's felt tipped, but a ballpoint pen like this one here that I have works just as fine. Just make sure they don't smear, because a pen that smears is just absolutely the worst. I can't stand them. So yeah, let's start with this helmet. This may end up looking more like a comic drawing than an actual like realistic portrait, but that's okay. So I'm going to start right about the eye. Actually, I'm going to take out this 0.2, which is a little bit more, shows a little bit more detail. Like so. So there's the eye hole. Draw his eyelid right there, and carefully put in his eyeball. I'm going super slow right now, I'm afraid to make a mistake. So I think we did a pretty good job, yeah, just putting in his eyelid and eye. And luckily he's wearing a helmet, otherwise I'd have to draw a lot more of his face, and I'm not really good at faces. Actually, I take that back, I'm getting better at faces. I used to not be good at them, but I think I'm getting much better now. And as a lot of you guys have checked out my Instagram, which is called Danny the Dinosaur Drawer, by the way. If you have not checked it out, please do so. And I've been posting a few of my latest Avenger drawings, and I think they've been turning out pretty well, pretty good. So yeah, I encourage you guys to go check out my Instagram. I'll have a link to it in the description of this video. So yeah, Captain America's helmet comes up and joins right about there, and it's got a rim to it. Let's be sure to put that in, like so. Now let's draw the nose of Chris Evans. He's the actor, by the way, if you don't already know that. So yeah, I get extremely nervous when I'm drawing faces with pen, just because you can't fix a mistake. So we got the nose in. Now we gotta draw in the mouth. he's holding back a lot of force, or I mean a lot of pressure in this picture because of all the blast and energy that Iron Man's sending through the shield. But Steve Rogers is a super soldier, means he has super strength, I guess. So he can hold his shield up against almost anything. So now we gotta put in the ear. Ears can be tricky sometimes, just because you don't want to put in too many lines, otherwise it'll make it look like it'll attract too much attention basically, and you don't want people's attention being focused on the ear. I think that's pretty good. That's enough lines. You don't want to put too many in. And yeah, we got another strap here going to the back of the helmet. It's got like a little belt piece right about there. And let's put in the collar. The collar is right about there. So yeah, I think we've completed our helmet. There's a few more little details to put in, like the few more lines up here. But yeah, for the most part we're done with the head. So yeah, I did put a little bit more detail into the head just because it would take too long to show you guys how to do it. That's why I did it by myself. I hope you guys are okay with that. But yeah, let's continue on with the shoulder. Maybe I should switch over to this 0.5 for a little bit. Let's see, I might have made the shoulder a tiny bit too big. So I'm changing things up a bit here. So that's the inner part, and then still got this part is going to be silver, by the way. Still got this lining. So that's automatically going to make the shoulder look bigger. Then it's got a red piece of cloth that also is right underneath the silver part. And now I'm going to put in the Avengers Insignia. Let's erase out the middle there. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to draw this. Let's see, let's start with the A. It's got an arrow pointing that way. Like so. So there's the A, and then it's got a circle right about here. And then the whole thing is like a badge, so you gotta draw a circle around it. So I sort of messed up here, got too close to the line. But there are certain strategies on how to fix that, even when you're drawing with pen. So for the most part it looks okay. This whole area is going to be shaded in, but we'll just wait until we get out our colored pencils, because we can fix that all with the black pencil. Now I'm just going to focus more on his arms. And remember to leave space for the pieces of all the sparks and stuff that are flying through the air. So let's draw his sleeve here. Like so. Draw on the elbow cap. Everything, all the pieces of clothing have like a little rim to them. Making this costume must have taken a lot of time. This also has a hem. Let's put in some wrinkles in for the gauntlet he's wearing. And now is a tricky part because we have this shield to worry about. And I think I'll do that after I finish the body here. Let's just draw on the other arm, which, as I said, is can't really see it very well, but you know it's there. So let's worry about the torso now. I've messed up before on this pattern, so I'm a little bit nervous about the straps here. So now it's wide, then it comes in. The two straps are very close together, and then they wider apart again. And then from this angle, this one's bent, like so. That's why it's so important to have it in pencil first, because making a mistake in pen is no fun at all. So we got this last strap is shaped a little differently, like so. And by the way, guys, fun fact, I think I'm just realizing this. This is probably my first superhero tutorial on my YouTube channel, which is very exciting. I've never done one before. At least I can't remember doing one. I may have, and if I have, please comment below if I'm mistaken about this. Because it's funny, oftentimes your own subscribers will know your channel better than you do. There's a lot of videos I haven't seen that I did years ago, and I've completely forgotten about them. And someone will comment on them and it'll send me a notification to my Gmail. I'll say, what? I don't even remember doing that speed drawing of Cryolophosaurus. Because like the full body Cryolophosaurus drawing I did was like 3 years ago. And someone recently commented on that, and I was reminded that I actually did have a drawing of a full body Cryolophosaurus, which is kind of fun. So again, I'm going to put in some of the detail by myself, but I'm just giving you guys the main details here. Let's see, he's got an iron, or a metal belt buckle here. Let's put that in. Like so. So I'm planning to actually use this drawing here as one of my 5 posters I'm putting together. I'm doing like a little Marvel project right now, and you guys have already seen some of them on Instagram. I just posted Iron Man today in full color, and then I did Captain Marvel, like a headshot portrait of Captain Marvel wearing her helmet. I think a lot of you guys saw that as well. But yeah, if you do have Instagram, please follow me. It'd be greatly appreciated. You guys will get to see stuff that you don't get to see on my YouTube channel. And I know I've posted a little bit on the community tab on YouTube, but for me, Instagram just feels easier. And I think more people, see the stuff when I post it on Instagram than if I post it on the community tab on YouTube. So now the part I've been worrying about, the shield, we're going to try and see if we can do it. So yeah, as I said, there's a bunch of sparks flying, so we might as well draw those in right away in pencil. You don't only do the ones that are actually touching the shield though, because you don't have to worry about the ones that are flying into the air just yet. I think right about here is where it's going to be like almost completely white, so we're not going to put any pen in at all. For the rest of it, we're going to have tons and tons of sparks. Some of them are going to be more blocky shaped like those, and others are going to be long lines, long thin lines like so. And they're flying in every direction. So yeah, just put those in. Trying not to make it look, I'm trying to make it look more natural than it's looking right now. But yeah, that looks okay. Let's get out our pens and see how this turns out. So I'm really hoping the shield is the right size and everything. because I can't really change it after this. I think I want to make it a little bit more straight. Right there, like so. Right about, that looks good. I'm just changing the proportions a bit. Not exactly sure how to explain what I'm seeing to make it look different. But yeah, let's start at the top. Just got a curve, like so. And be sure to stop your pen every time you come to one of these lines, like I'm doing right now. So we can put a lot of sparks in. So that's what's really going to make the drawing look cool. And there's a slight curve to the shield as it comes back up. And then again, this whole part's going to be full of sparks, but there is a second line where the red paint ends. And we'll put that in right now. So yeah, maybe a little bit thicker. It's hard for me to talk while I'm really concentrating on this part of the drawing. Because as you can see, I've already made a few mistakes. But for the most part, it's okay. I know you guys are doing a good job. We can fix it up a bit once we begin coloring. Yeah, because with colored pencils you can cover up a lot of mistakes you've made with the pen. So all that's not lost just yet. Messing up with colored pencils can also be fixed depending on how hard you press down with your pencil. If you really press down hard, it's almost impossible to get rid of the mark. If you're drawing lightly with colored pencils, it is possible. So yeah, we're pretty much done with the shield. Not going to add much more until we get into the colored stage. But now we can work on Iron Man's hands. So this is not going to be too difficult. We already have the basic outline of the hands finished. He's got like a little, looks like almost like an octagon there. Can't tell how many sides it has. So this is going to be glowing. There's two lines coming there. There's so many lines and pieces when you're drawing Iron Man that it gets really confusing. As I said, Captain America's going to be much easier than Iron Man. So your finger has 3 joints in it. So we're going to emphasize those joints. Since Iron Man has like a suit, each one has to be, he has to be able to move his fingers. So he's got 3 sections of metal over each one, over each part of his finger. So put those in, like so. Looks a little bit sloppy there, but it's okay. Then the other one is going to be a little bit more of a challenge, because we're only going to be drawing part of the fingers because the light is so bright. So in the movie, this scene is in slow motion, and I thought that was really cool. This is like one of the only scenes where I've seen where Captain America really gets angry. Because most of the time he's not that angry when he's fighting, like when he's fighting Ultron or some other villain. But in this part he gets really angry at Iron Man. Which is kind of nice because like the Captain America in the comics is very much like that. He's always very stern. Always has a very serious frown on. But like in the movies, Captain America doesn't really get very angry at anybody until this scene. Because it almost seems like he's gonna kill Iron Man. Especially the first time you see it, the first time I saw Civil War, it was like, whoa, he almost is gonna kill. Well, Iron Man, first of all, I thought Iron Man could have obviously killed both Captain America and Bucky. I think he was mainly trying to get Captain America out of the way so he could kill Bucky. And I hope I'm not spoiling this movie for you guys. I assume most of you have seen it already, since it's already been out for 3 years. Yeah, it's a good movie. Technically it's a Captain America film, but I really would say it's more of an Avengers film, because it has most of the Avengers. Minus, it doesn't have Hulk or Thor, which are some of the first Avengers, so I guess that's maybe why they didn't call it an Avenger movie. And there are a lot of scenes with Captain America, so that's maybe why they decided to call it Captain America Civil War. Because they could have just called it Avengers Civil War, I guess, or Iron Man vs. Captain America, like they did with Batman vs. Superman. They could have just called the movie that. But anyways, I should be explaining what to do in this drawing instead of talking so much. So we got another one of those little octagon circles. It's going to be shining light. We got so many pieces. So we got to draw this huge shoulder cap. It's got a circular surface there on top. Let's draw the other arm. So yeah, for Iron Man we're basically going to be using, I guess, 4 colors. Silver, gold, red, and a little bit of blue for the different lights. It's got a bunch of little shining parts. Okay, so now we gotta, I guess we could focus on the helmet. But I'm looking at it right now and I'm not satisfied with how it looks. I think it needs to be a little bit lower. Let's see. And the bottom part has to be a little thicker. I think that looks better. So yeah, let's take a chance and dive into putting it with the pen, making it final. Gotta put in his eye slits. Like so. This front part is like what I would call the mask part. At least the face mask part. I was watching part of the premiere of Endgame, and there was like some people dressed up as Iron Man, or at least this one guy, and he really looked like Tony Stark. It was amazing, and his costume was just exactly like the real suit Iron Man wears. So that was really cool to see, and the guy looked like him, had the same goatee and everything. So let's draw the rest of the face. It's got no nose. Here's the part where you put in like the mouth, or frown, I guess is what you'd call it. I remember when I was little, I was like confused all the time. Other people, superheroes like Batman and Iron Man were good guys, because they always looked really angry. I was convinced for a long time that Hulk was also a villain, because he looks like a monster, you know. And I'd see T-shirts and stuff with Hulk on it, and he looked obviously like a villain, but I guess he's sort of a good guy. He's mainly a good guy when he's working with other superheroes. But by himself, I don't think he does much good. He always just destroying everything. Just adds more intricate pieces to the helmet. Let's do the overall circle. Like so. There's a bunch of lines going back toward the back of the head. And yeah, we've got to put in the neck next. For it to be mobile, like for him to be able to move his neck, it's got a bunch of different pieces that connect together. And they've got a band that starts here, goes down to his back. As I said, we're going to worry about the shading and colors later. So that's why the drawing like of Captain America here looks rather bland. But yeah, let's try to zoom in a bit here. Okay, now it's going to be a little bit difficult to see what's going on here because the lighting's not perfect in this picture. But yeah, he's like, the side of him has an open spot that's showing like all this different advanced tech. So I'm working on that right now. You guys can just follow along. I'm not really sure how to explain, except the different shapes I'm drawing. I'm drawing like a bunch of lines and rectangles and stuff. So here's like a part, looks like a vent or something. Because I don't know why else he would expose this part. It's got another light here. It actually has a light right about there, but we'll worry about that later once we're coloring. And I think, just to make the video a little bit shorter, I'm gonna have the coloring part be the coloring stage be a part 2 video. It's amazing, I haven't done a part 2 video in a long time since I got my video editor. So actually in this picture I can't see the back of Iron Man. The picture's cropped, so we'll just have to make that part up. Just make it I'll make it very shaded, and that'll fix it. So in the front of Iron Man, he sort of has like a bunch of abs here, abdominals, just different plates overlapping each other. And by the way guys, I'm not drawing it perfect, like I'm leaving out a few things here and there, but for the most part this is pretty accurate to what it looks like. And you guys have probably seen the reference image yourself. It's very easy to Google. Just put like Iron Man versus Captain America and you're bound to find this picture. Just got a bunch of strips here. Then he's got a main piece. Looks like almost like a belt there. So now we can put in his thigh, which also is in several layers. I don't even know like if it's real. This was a real suit. How much it would cost to make it? Looks very expensive. It's around the hips here. He has like. He would have to have some sort of rotating system for him to be able to move around. And I think we're pretty much done. with Iron Man. It's got a few more lights and a little bit more lines and shapes all over his body. But yeah, for the most part, this looks pretty good. Hope yours looks the same or better. And yeah, be sure to check out part 2. And another thing I would recommend is don't erase the pencil marks until after the ink is dried. And yeah, don't erase it until after the ink is dried, because it will smear. Some papers it won't smear, but it's just a good idea to let it wait. So yeah, if you've not already subscribed, please subscribe right now and check out my Instagram as I mentioned earlier. I'll have a link to that in the description below. Please leave this video a like and head on to part 2 where we will be coloring it so it can look something like this.